The morning he woke to find a woman he had only seen on magazine covers asleep beside him. Wearing his oversized cotton shirt, his heart nearly stopped. Sunlight spilled across the small apartment like an accusation, highlighting the unfamiliar fall of dark hair on his pillow, the faint scent of expensive perfume clinging to the air. For a split second, he thought exhaustion had finally broken him, that grief and bills and sleepless nights had stitched together a dream too cruel to be real. But when he sat up and saw her breathe, calm and human and impossibly out of place in his life, the truth hit him harder than any nightmare ever had. If you believe in kindness, second chances, and the quiet miracles that change ordinary lives, take a moment right now to like this video, share it with someone who needs hope, leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel for more stories that remind us how powerful compassion can be. He was a single dad named Aaron, a man whose world had shrunk to school lunches, night shifts, and the steady rhythm of keeping his daughter safe. After his wife passed, life became a narrow bridge he crossed every day with fear under his feet. He worked two jobs, one at a warehouse before dawn and another repairing electronics late into the night, just to keep the lights on in their modest apartment. His daughter Lily was 7, all bright eyes and quiet bravery, and she had learned too early how to be gentle with a tired father. Aaron had learned to live without expectations, without dreams bigger than tomorrow's rent. That was why the presence of the woman in his bed felt like a fracture in reality itself. The night before had been a blur of rain and sirens. On his way home, he had found her slumped against the steering wheel of a sleek black car that looked wildly out of place on his street. She had collapsed from exhaustion and stress, her phone dead, her driver unreachable, her carefully built armor finally cracking. Aaron, despite knowing how dangerous the world could be, had done what he always did. He helped. He carried her inside, wrapped her in safety the only way he knew how, and gave her his shirt when her clothes were soaked from the storm. He slept on the couch, telling himself it was just another act of kindness that would fade by morning. But morning came, and she was still there. She woke slowly, eyes sharp even in vulnerability, and when recognition dawned, it hit him all at once. She was Elena Cross, the female CEO whose face dominated business news, the woman known for ruthless takeovers and unbreakable resolve. Seeing her like this, small and quiet in his worn shirt, stripped away every myth. He expected anger, embarrassment, or cold dismissal. Instead, what she said left him frozen in a way he could not explain. She spoke not with power, but with gratitude so raw it shook him. She told him that no one had ever taken care of her without wanting something in return, and that his simple kindness had reminded her what it felt like to be human. Those words followed him through the day like a shadow. Even after she left, even after his apartment returned to its familiar silence, something had shifted. Elena did not vanish from his life the way he assumed she would. She returned with apologies, with thanks, with questions about Lily's drawings taped to the fridge and the way he managed everything alone. She saw the cracks he hid so well, the exhaustion in his shoulders, the way he always put himself last. And Aaron, who had spent years believing his life was too small to be noticed, found himself seen. The challenges did not disappear. Bill still arrived. His car still rattled. Lily still asked questions he struggled to answer about why life could be so unfair. But slowly, subtly, things began to change. Elena did not offer rescue or pity. She offered respect. She listened. She learned his world the way she had once learned balance sheets and boardrooms. In return, Aaron showed her a life not measured by profit, but by presence. He showed her evenings where dinner was simple but laughter was rich, where success meant being there when it mattered. Rumors started when they were seen together, the tabloids hungry for scandal. Aaron feared becoming a spectacle, feared the fragile peace he had built would shatter under scrutiny. Elena faced backlash from a world that could not understand why a woman of her status would choose to spend time in a cramped apartment with a struggling father. The pressure tested them both. But instead of breaking, they held steady. Aaron found strength he did not know he had, and Elena found softness she thought she had lost forever. What truly changed everything was Lily. The child who had lost so much looked at Elena not with awe, but with trust. In that trust, Elena saw a reflection of the person she wanted to become. She realized that success without connection was an empty victory, and that love, when chosen freely, was the bravest risk of all. Aaron realized that accepting help did not make him weak, and that sometimes life surprises you not to mock your pain, but to reward your endurance. As the seasons passed, their lives intertwined not through grand gestures, but through quiet consistency. Morning breakfasts, school pickups, shared worries, shared hopes. The world did not suddenly become easy, but it became meaningful. Aaron no longer felt invisible, and Elena no longer felt alone at the top. They met each other not as a CEO and a single dad, but as two people who had survived and still dared to care. Before the story ends, I want to ask you something special. Please comment below with the word hope if you believe that one act of kindness can change a life, because your voice matters more than you know. Near the end of that year, Aaron stood in the same bedroom where everything had begun, watching sunlight spill across familiar walls. This time, it did not feel like an accusation. It felt like a promise. He understood that life does not always give us what we want, but sometimes gives us what we need when we least expect it. Elena understood that strength is not found in control, but in vulnerability shared with the right people. If this story touched your heart, if it reminded you that love can grow in the most unexpected places, please like this video, share it with someone who needs encouragement, and let us know in the comments how it made you feel. Your engagement keeps stories like this alive, and your support helps spread a little more light in a world that needs it.